everyone, welcome back to Kirsty Colouring Sketch. So recently I watched one of ColourMeStressFree's videos and she purchased some Paul Rubens oil pastels. Now she didn't get this exact set, she got the set of 36 macaron set, which I believe is more pastel toned oil pastels. And she did some experimenting with backgrounds and colouring an actual illustration with them. So I'll drop her video in the description of this one if you want to go and check that out. But it was really interesting to watch, and I thought they looked like they was performing like gelatos. The only difference being you can add water to gelatos, and I wouldn't like to fancy your chances adding water to these. I don't think you can do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so go check that out. But I was enabled by her to purchase these because they look like so much fun. So I've got the 48 set of these ones, which apparently they were supposed to be £43.99 for this vivid set on Amazon, but they was reduced to £26.99. The macaron set of 36 is slightly cheaper at £19.99. But this morning when I went for my grocery shop at my local Aldi, I spotted these. Now these are Big Kids oil pastels, and they're only a small set. There's only a set of 12 in these, but there was only £1.99. And I thought I would grab these and have a see at the differences. Now the Paul Rubens, they don't claim to be light fast or anything like that, or having a light fastness. What they do say on the back is that, where is it? Strong tinctorial power and not easy to fade. So that's all it says, that they're not easy to fade. Now I can't find anything on these ones. Obviously they're made for kids, so it doesn't say anything about them fading or anything like that. Just a cheap and cheerful set. So first I'm going to get into the Paul Rubens, and I'm going to open these up. So they come in this gorgeous box. It is a quite big box, protected with this foam, and then a little manual here. Now I was looking at this leaflet and trying to understand these little tips, usage method. I was trying to understand some of the tips. I didn't quite understand some of them, but when I got to the end, this one, I have actually tried this out, so I might try that out for you today. But we'll just have a see. We'll see how they go down on the paper in comparison to the cheap big ones. But these are the colours that you get in the 48 set. Really lovely array of colours. Like I said, the macaron set that ColourMeStressFree's got are all pastel tones, really lovely light colours. So check out her video linked down below if you're interested in a different set to this one. But these are quite some earthy tones in here down the bottom, darker colours, pinks, oranges, yellows, purples, blues, greens. Really lovely, actually, really lovely. So I'm just going to pop it to the side like that, and I thought to test these out we would try them out in Johanna Basford's Worlds of Wonder. I've picked the most brilliant page that has lots of white space in the background, and it's going to give me lots of room to play around with these. And it is this one. Look at all that space in the background, absolutely loads. So this is going to be a bit of an experimental page, but as these illustrations are so whimsical and so, you know, you can just sort of do what you want in these books, I thought I'm going to splash colour everywhere. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, let's get into these. So first, I'm gonna, they're not too easy to get out sometimes, but my fingers are going to get messy, so I've just got some baby wipes to the side of me. So let me pull one of them out, or a few, to start with. So first off, I'm going to try one of these Paul Rubens. So they come like this, cute little packaging, sort of cylinder shaped, if that's what you call that. So I am just going to rub it. Oh, I've put red on there, that's my nail varnish again. Let's put it over there. I am going to rub it round, and they are very creamy, as you can imagine, with oil pastels. Let's try and bring you in a bit, actually. Bring you in over here. And then I'm just going to rub it round with my finger. See if we can get right up to this illustration. I might just do the actual illustration with gel pens in the end. But there we go. So that's nice, that's blended out really nice. It's a really lush green as well. So let's open these big ones and find a green in here. I might only have 1 or 2 colours I can go off on here, but let's open these up and see what these are like inside. So they're just in a regular cardboard sleeve, and then your plastic packaging. So cute, you can tell they're made for kids. Cute little oil pastels. I'm going to pick the nearest shade to that one, which is this one. It is darker, but you know, we'll go for that. So these ones are, is it a hexagon shape? It's hexagon, octagon, which has 6, which has 8. 6 is a hexagon, isn't it? So yeah, it's a hexagon shape. I need to go back to school. Yeah, very similar thickness to them. I'm going to put this one here at the side of it. So they don't feel as creamy at all. They're still creamy, they go down creamy, but you can tell there's a, I don't know if it's to do with the shape. It might be the shape of the hexagon, it feels rigid going on the page. But they're still creamy. It might just be that hexagon that's throwing me off a bit. So let's blend this one. Let's wipe my finger on that baby wipe. We don't want to get any of the colours mixing. But oh yeah, they don't do these. You have to work harder to blend these for sure. I mean, they blend out nice, but you have to press on harder with your finger. It's not horrendous, but you do have to press harder. Those ones blend out with a medium pressure. These ones you have to put a hard pressure, but that blend is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous blend for a cheap pastel. That's really lovely actually. So let's try another colour. I'm going to go for a red in the Paul Rubens next. So this is going to be a rainbow page, this. I'm going to go for this deep red here. I'm going to go over this mark I've made on the page with the red. It's a good idea, isn't it? It must be on my fingers. Let me wipe. You know, I painted my nails before I came on here, but it's all over me. I don't know why it's still wet as well. Ignore me. So I'm going in with the Paul Rubens red. Gonna put it here. That's really, really bright, really lovely. Pop that back in its little bed. And we'll go to blend that. This one I'm having to use a hard pressure with as well. Maybe it's just some are hotter than others. When they're warmed up, they will melt, won't they? Lovely. Now I'm going to get the big kids one. So this red looks like a similar shade. And I'm going to pop it just at the side of it here. See, yeah, that one went down quite smooth actually, this one now. So let's go for that. Wipe my finger off. Right, let's go for it. They're both really nice. They both are really quite nice. I mean, with this shade you can see that the Paul Rubens is more vivid. Let me hold it up. I'm going to get very messy here, but the Paul Rubens is, you know, more opaque. And you can tell that with the greens as well. Let me get the greens in frame. Sorry, it's because I'm zoomed in so much now. But the greens, you can tell the Paul Rubens more opaque as well. This is the Paul Rubens. This is the Big Kids. It's more opaque, you can see. Same with the red. This is the Paul Rubens. This is the Big. So the Paul Rubens are more opaque. We've worked that out so far. So let's try another colour. What colour should we go for this time? How about we go for a nice blue? It really is going to be a rainbow page, this one. Trying to find one that's similar to the big one that I've got. So if we sort of go for... this is probably the closest. So we'll go for this one and we'll go down here. Oh, that one's very creamy. That one must have heated up in the sun. So yeah, you can probably tell the difference. There is definitely a quality difference with the thickness, creaminess. I'd say the sort of painting quality that you would want. Very creamy, that one, very creamy. Let's go up to this little plane, see if we can get it right up to the edge. I'm going to end up going on this plane. I wonder if gel pens would go over the top if I accidentally went over. There we go. Now I'm going to get the big. So the big one's this colour. Hopefully it's similar. So I'm going to put it at the side of it. Yeah, that's a lot harder. That's nowhere near as creamy as the Paul Rubens. Nowhere near. Absolutely nowhere near. This feels quite scratchy actually, this one. This blue. There seems to be quite a difference in the colours with the textures of them. Oh, that's quite hard to blend, that colour as well. That's making me work. So the Bics though, the Bics seem to blend out a lot nicer. So, although the Paul Rubens are gorgeously creamy and would be really good for painting with and quite opaque, the Bics do seem to have a nicer blend on them where they're not looking patchy. So if I went in again with this and just started working it out like I've done with the Bic, I don't know, it's quite hard to work with because of the thickness of it, and it's getting quite patchy, can you see? Whereas that one has a really lovely blend. I suppose it depends on what you want to use these for, possibly. Well, that's getting into a nicer blend now. That's going into a nicer blend. Perhaps you just don't need to put as much on with the Paul Rubens. Maybe I'm putting too much on, because now I've removed some of that and blended it out some more. It has gone into this nice blend that we're getting with this one, as you can see there. Yeah, I think it's just a learning curve, deciding on how they're working out best. Let's try and blend it in. Try and blend it into that one. That's a nice blend with the two colours now though, isn't it? That's blended into that really nice. Paul Rubens and the Bic. They're both nice in their own ways, you know, actually. If you're looking for a budget set, then they're not bad. They're really lovely going on the page, to be honest. Really lovely. So what should we try next? Should we go for a yellow? So I'm gonna have to go for sort of this yellow here, I think. So where should we put this one? Have we got any room left? We'll go up here. So I'm not going to put as much on this time, and we'll see if it's that I'm putting too much on, why it's so but they are lovely and creamy, the Paul Rubens. Lovely. So if you do any sort of paintings, I've seen lots of lovely still life paintings done with these. So if you do anything like that, I imagine these ones are really nice for it. But if you just want them for backgrounds in your colouring books, etc., then there's no reason why you couldn't go for the budget Bic ones. Let's blend that out a bit more. I had a bit of green left over on my finger from not green, blue. So it's sort of tainted the yellow a little bit. Let's try and get rid of it. I'm going to blend the yellow into that green, see what happens there. That's quite nice. There we go. Right, now I'm going to go for the Bic yellow, which is this one. You can get bigger sets on Amazon of these. Like I say, I picked these ones up at my local Aldi, so they only had a set of 12. But you can pick these up off Amazon. They're in slightly different packaging. They're in like a plastic container that you can keep them in with a handle. So I'll link them down below anyway. I'll link them. I'm going to go right next to that yellow with this yellow. And we'll see the difference. See, I think, yeah, I think the Bic ones are easier to blend, you know, because they're not thick. They're not thick and creamy like the Paul Rubens. So the Bic, you know, they're easier to blend out. That took me quite a while and it was quite thick. The Bic ones are really easy to blend out. Really easy. I wonder if I can just wipe that muck off there with that. Don't mind me. It's irritating me a bit. But yeah, there's definitely some different qualities to be had out of both sets. But I'm just going to try a purple now, a nice purple. So we'll go for the Paul Rubens first. I'm going to pick up this one, I think. This lovely shade. Where should we go with this one? This is going to be such a fun page when it's done, I tell you. Right, I'm not going to put much more on of that. And we'll see if it blends a bit better. See, I think the Paul Rubens could possibly, you know, work better on a different, not in colouring books maybe. I mean, they're lovely, but you just have to work harder in the colouring book because of the thickness of them. I imagine. I'm going to try and do my own original art with these ones. That one blended out not too bad actually. That one blended out quite nice. I think less is more with the Paul Rubens because they're so pigmented, they're so creamy, they're so thick. So maybe it's just a learning curve for me. Yeah, we'll see. Let's get the Bic one. You're learning with me here, guys. You're learning with me because I am just working out these colours. That's quite lighter. That's like a fuchsia, is it? Almost. Sort of colour. Oh, that had that colour on it. Whoopsie, my bad. Don't use the same mucky finger when you're blending them. That one needs a bit more actually. So yeah, I think now by playing around with them, my end thoughts are that the Paul Rubens feel like good quality ones. They're really thick, really creamy. You don't need a lot on the page, so less is more with the Paul Rubens. Don't put lots down on the page. A tiny bit goes a long way, I think, otherwise you're going to make it hard to blend them out, as you've just seen me struggling with some of them that I put lots on. The Bics you need more of, so more is more with the Bics, less is more with the Paul Rubens. The Bics are, you know, they're not as opaque, so it depends what you're going for. The Paul Rubens are very opaque, very vivid, very pigmented, so you can see, you know, a slight difference. But, you know, there's no reason to pay expensive for the Paul Rubens. I'm not quite sure if I would pay expensive for them again. It depends what you want them for. I will try some original art with the Paul Rubens, and I'll have a see what I think about them in respect to using them not in colouring books. But as for colouring books, you know, there's nothing wrong with these Bic Kids as a budget brand. They work brilliantly. I'm going to try something fun now, which I tried off camera. So I'm going to pick an area of this book. I'm going to go down here. So I'm going to go in with lots of bright colours, and I'm going to use the Paul Rubens because I know that it works with these because I tested them out. So yeah, I'm going to blend lots of colours close by each other. So an orange, a red, and I'm going to go for sort of bright colours. So I'm going to go for a yellow, possibly another shade of orange as well. I'll go for this orange here. You can see it's all over my fingers and it's going all over the page, but it's a good job. I don't mind it being rainbow now. It's going to be definitely one for Pride Month, this page, by the time I've done with it, put it that way. It's a messy job, this oil pastel. So I'm just going to blend this out. Now, when ColourMeStressFree did her video, she did use some odorless mineral spirits to blend out as well. If you want to see how that turned out, just click on her video, which is linked in the description of this one. I'm not going to use it today, but there we go. Yeah, they're definitely very thick, quite hard to blend out at times, the Paul Rubens. That's my thoughts on it. My chair's squeaking because I'm wobbling. I'm wobbling doing this. I might put some more yellow over the top of this in a minute, but you'll realise what I'm doing in a minute. Don't panic, don't think, oh my gosh, what's she doing? It will come to light. Carry on watching. Bear with me. You'll see what I'm doing. But you can see how hard it is to move that colour. It's really thick. They're really, really thick. Maybe it's better to use some sort of tool rather than your finger. I'm not sure. I'm going to put a bit more yellow on over the top, and then I'll get to what I'm doing. Honestly. So where this bit's blended out a bit better, put some more down. Oh, that didn't go down very well. Maybe not do that. This worked fine when I tested it out, so if it doesn't work now, God help me. Right, now I'm going to go in with a dark colour. So I'm going to pick a dark blue or a dark purple, something of the sorts. I'm going to go for this. It's like a navy blue. So I'm going to go for that one. And I'm going to put it all over the top of here. Hopefully it'll go over the top fine. This page is going to be absolutely blinking bonkers. Bonkers, but we don't mind. We don't mind having a test. So I'm going over the top with all this. You're probably thinking, what is she doing? What is she doing? You'll understand. You'll understand soon. I promise. We're just we may be, what's the word, ruining a page in the process, or it'll be a very bonkers page. Right, so we've covered up those colours. You might be able to guess what I'm going to do next, but we've covered up those colours with a darker colour. And I'm going to get a palette knife and I'm going to make patterns. So these are the little palette knives that I have. I bought these when I was doing some acrylic painting one day. You can see where I've been testing it out on this one because it's still dirty. But you can get the edge of the palette knife and you can make shapes. And you can see, let me put them pastels away. Look at it all over the desk. You can see that the colours that we put on underneath are coming through. So you could put that all over your background and then you could do all sorts of patterns over the top and have fun with it. Let's bring you in a bit more. So you can just have fun with it. You could do a brilliant firework page. So you could pick a page, put all that on the background and then do your fireworks in there. Like anything, you can pick any colours to put underneath. I just did oranges, reds and yellows, as you can see coming through there. But you just scratch on. You can scratch on lightly, harshly. Oh, you could do some fantastic things with that, couldn't you? So much fun, let me tell you. So much fun. It just scratches it off to the underlayers. I put my initial in there at one point on my practice piece that I did, so you can write somewhat custy. But I like the squiggling. I think you could do a really good firework page with that effect. Really, really cool. I've got it everywhere. Look at the state of me. Let me zoom out. But there we go. That's my little experiment on this Johanna Basford page. So I might actually just go all over the page with all the different colours, bright colours. Go over the top with this purple and just make all the background this crazy effect. But watch out for this page in my completed pages at the end of the month. It is going to look either like something's exploded over the top of it or it's going to look brilliant. Who knows? But yeah, Paul Rubens on Amazon, 48 vivid set, $26.99 at the minute. I do believe it might go up in price, but this is at the time of me filming this. Or you can get the big kids. I picked these up at my local supermarket, $1.99. You can get them on Amazon in a plastic carryable container. and you can get bigger sets in those as well. But I think they're brilliant as a budget set. They're not as messy. These aren't as messy as the Paul Rubens. The Paul Rubens are quite messy. They're really thick, really creamy. These aren't as quite as messy. So get what you will from that. I've just been playing around today, and that's my first thoughts on these products. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this, will not say masterpiece, but whatever this is. And please hit the thumbs up and drop me a comment down below. See you again soon. Bye everyone. So this is the finished page, everyone. This is the best I could come up with what I made of that page, experimenting on it. So I did what I said I was going to do in the video, which was cover the whole of the page in the colourful oil pastel colours, so yellows, pinks, greens, orange, purples, anything you can find that's bright. And then I went over the top with my dark oil pastel. I then used a palette knife to create this effect that you can see coming off the back of the plane and some smaller little squiggly lines in the background. I then decided to go over Johanna's illustration with a white gel pen of what I could see coming through the page. I tried to recreate what was there, and let me tell you, that took me some time. I had to keep cleaning the nib off on the gel pen because it was picking up all the oil pastel off the page, but I love how it turned out. I decided to put the word pride on there because it was so colourful. It had the rainbow colours going on in there. I thought it was just such a creative page that, you know, happy Pride Month to everybody out there. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you got some ideas for it. Bear in mind, it's very, very messy. You did not want to see my desk after this. But that's my creative page for the month. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and see you again soon. Bye everyone.